All right, so it's review time again, and yeah. So, do we stick with Black Series? Do we look at a Transformer? We already did the Ninja Turtles, so I don't think we need to do them again right now. Um, no Marvel Legends. Sorry, Cosmic. Uh, and I think there was something else I said I was gonna review, and I just can't remember. So maybe we'll get back onto some more Black Series because I know there's a few figures that you may want to hear a little bit about. So hold tight and let's get to something. Hey everybody, Papa Gord here, and happy Halloween. Although when you see this tomorrow, it'll be Happy November the 1st. But yeah, so we are looking at Tron figures tonight. So sorry, April Fools, not really. But anyways, yeah, I did want. This is going to be a pretty easy one. Those of you that watched my Flynn review, basically going to be the same thing with just some slight differences. So one guy's red, the other guy's blue. We did a blue guy, so we're going to do a blue guy again, but he's not as hindered with his upper body articulation like the Flynn character was. So again, here's the box. Got the old school Tron logo right there. You got Tron and Yori right there. And in the back, you're not going to be able to see as much, a little bit. You can see the game grid for like the light cycles or whatnot. So I do like the packaging. It's pretty cool. It is pretty bulky considering you get the figure, you get his identity disc, and you get a stand. So I really think they probably could have condensed a little bit, but whatever. So Diamond Select, again, Walgreens exclusive. As far as I know, you still can't find these anywhere up in Canada. I don't know if you will ever be able to find these up in Canada. But thanks again to my bestest friend in the world, Uncle Mike, for being able to pick them up and ship them up for me. I did have all three pre-ordered, but the Flynn was different. I had said before, Flynn was going to be the red version when he knocked out one of the bad guys and kind of held him down and absorbed his essence and kind of turned into, I think, Infiltrator Flynn, I believe. And he was only red for literally 1 or 2 minutes, and then he went back to blue after Tron saved him. Spoiler alert from a movie from 1982, just in case you haven't seen it. So, I would, honestly, I thought, wow, this is great. They're all going to have their own bios. They don't. The only difference is on the back, instead of, like this one says, this action figure of Tron, because it's Tron's box, is based on his appearance in the movie Tron and features 16 points of articulation. So, and this one says Sark. This one makes noise because they've got all the stands in here, all three stands, and these figures stand up really well on their own. I appreciate the stand. The feet don't really peg in super hard, so I mean, you lift them up, the stand will fall off. But only difference on here is it says Sark once and Sark on. Packaging is exactly the same and no difference whatsoever. So yeah, so let's just get into who should we do first? Tron or Sark? You know what? We did a blue, we did Flynn. Let's do Sark. So we'll kind of go like a blue-red sandwich or a cookie or something like that. I don't know. So here is Sark. Played by David Warner, was the actor who portrayed Ed Dillinger / Sark, so the main bad guy from the first Tron film. And yeah, I dig him. He, like I said, like facially, they don't really resemble the actors who portray them but in all honesty, these are fantastic. If I knew where my original 4 Tron figures were that are 3 3/4 inch, but like I said, one's translucent purple, the other's translucent blue, and then Sark and one of his guards are just translucent red. The 3 of them come with their identity disc and their little glow in the dark, which do peg in the back, and the warrior, I think is what they called him, comes with a little staff, and it's made of glow in the dark material as well. And that is it. No, you couldn't bend the knees, couldn't bend the elbows. Just enough movement, just like an old school Star Wars figure. So to have something like this, it would be cool if they could put in kind of maybe a glow in the dark bit, but I wouldn't really see the point of it. I just think it would look kind of cool, or somehow to make him glow a little bit, because when he showed off how ticked off he was, like, take that program to the holding pit, he went really red, like glowy red. So yeah, it would have been kind of cool. But you know what? For the most part, it looks like Sark. Really, all it is a lot of sports pads, hockey, football pads, like whatever that they've thrown into the costume. Sark's headpiece, I think, looks pretty cool. I like it. It again looks like Sark from 1982. The long bits on here, kind of almost very samey on the back of Sark's big carrier ship, because he's got these big 2 long bits hanging off the back. So I mean, I don't know if that's so people knew, oh ho ho, don't touch that, that's Sark's ride. I don't know. But again, nice detail for the figure. It is all like printed on here. Some things are cut out and then the paint is in, like the symbol on the chest and this half moon type of thing, and the emblem in his forehead. The gauntlets are somewhat pliable, not super, but they do move around a little bit. We got, again, double jointed elbows. So Sark is a little more, he does get a little bit better range on one than he does the other, which, hey, it's cool. It still is double jointed elbows, so that's pretty rad. He gets not bad articulation for bending at the knee, but you get not a bad spread. And then you just get, they are really, really tight, and that seems to have loosened them up a little bit. But it's, again, standard, fairly standard. So you've got the articulation on the feet. You do have a swivel on the bottom. With the hands, you do have a swivel, and you can make them bend inwards, both of them. So not one doesn't just go like this, and one like that. They're both this way, but in case you needed to know. And then the head, really, the hood, if you got a lot of range on the head, the hood really takes away from it. So you're really only getting side to side. You're not really getting any, really no waggle and no up and down. Little bit of crunch. Really, I almost feel that these figures are more statuesque, I think. They don't particularly hold the identity disc all that well. You've really got to kind of try to cram it in, but it just tends to fall out of the hand. I would imagine you could probably get away with putting maybe a little bit of blue tack or something on the inside, just to get them to hold the disc without it falling. But again, there's the back. I do feel it's a lot of dead, non-painted space right there, but I would, again, think for the most part, most people probably keep the disc on his back, but then he looks kind of boring if you just got him sitting on the shelf. like this. So you need to have something in there. And this is how I have him right now, not with his hands that way, but for the most part, because I can't get him to hold the disc properly, I've tried heating up the hands and closing them closer to, but they tend to want to come back a little bit. So I may have to try a few times. Same with one of the shoulder pads here. This one sticks out a little bit more, and it's pretty stiff plastic. So like you do get okay range, and it does go around, but it's not very forgiving. But again, you can see all the circuitry there. I do need to fix his the chin part a little bit. It's not super perfect, but it's not too horrible either. So that's Sark, and I dig him. He's awesome. So we'll look at Tron. And here's Tron, portrayed by Bruce Boxleitner, who played Alan Bradley / Tron, the security program that he was designing to monitor everything, including the master control program. And that just didn't sit well with the MCP. So yeah. So this is Tron again, same thing. Doesn't really look like Alan Bradley, but it doesn't not look like Alan Bradley. I think out of the three, this might have maybe the closest facial resemblance to the actor, but honestly, doesn't really bother me. Again, the fact that any company decided to go back and go, I think we need Tron figures, like good Tron or better Tron figures than what was produced back when the movie first came out for the 4 figures and a couple of light cycles with the little zip cords to make the light cycles zip across the floor. So so it's basically the same thing. It's a lot of printing on here. Some of the stuff is kind of has the cuts in there for the paint to go in, so it is like more textured feeling instead of just like a stencil brush being done. Same with like his logo in the front, and a little bit on the helmet, but totally old school hockey helmet for sure. Again, identity disc on the back. He's got paint detail, so he looks pretty all right one way or the other. Again, I know there's nothing they can do about covering up the peg hole. It's just what it is. Captain America suffers from the same thing, most of the caps anyways. And it's the same thing. His forearm covers aren't exactly the most flexible, but you know what? They do move separately. Like it is a separate piece, which is nice. Range, same thing. There's not really any up and down. He's just looking side to side. That's all he can do. Again, you can kind of get him. There we go. Saluting, as you were. So the double joints are awesome. I totally love that about the figures. So really great. Just taking a look around, like I can't see that far, but but there is no. That's like it. Like there's just no ab crunch whatsoever on these figures. You can twist him, but he's not leaning forward. He's not leaning backwards. So you really can't get them in super awesome action poses. He's got good leg spread, like Sark. Flynn, same thing. As far as being able to bend his legs back, he gets a little bit more range than Sark, but I mean that's still good. Swivels, and it's all the same. It's like, he's blue. His head's different, really, for the most part. That's really the only difference. So, I'm digging. I love all three of them. I have heard rumors now that there may very well be a Series 2 that'll come out. I can only hope that Yori, so Tron's girlfriend, who does make out with Flynn a little bit, so I don't know what's going on with that. But Yori would be definitely a cool one. Ram, their little junior partner, Ram would be a cool one to have. Rom, he's the guy that Flynn goes up against. He's another blue guy, so he's another program, but he gets has to go up against him into that. I don't even know what the game's called anymore, but you know, they get the scoop on their hand and they're throwing the ball, bouncing back and forth and bouncing off the rings. So Ram would be cool. You could do one of the warriors. You could do one of Sark's henchmen. You know, some of the crazy people you see when they get into the one city where the IO tower is. So yeah, I mean, they've got lots and lots of options. So again, here, we'll pull Flynn back out real quick. But see, this was the problem with Flynn, that his half shirt skirt combo thing just totally kills the articulation on his left side completely, because this just doesn't do anything. It's not like a soft fabric where you'd be able to get movement in the upper arm, like you get a little bit, but again, not a whole lot. But yeah, so that is my two blue guys, my Flynn, my Tron, and then my Sark. Sark needs a buddy. He's feeling a little lonely. He's outnumbered here. So here, we'll get him in the Tron sandwich right there. But yeah, I love these guys. This, if I was a kid, if these would have been out when I was a kid, the hours and hours and hours of playtime I would have spent with these things. So I love the fact that, again, I love that Diamond Select has made these. I look forward to seeing the Black Hole figures that they're working on, and I think the Rocketeer as well. I love the Rocketeer. I'm gonna have to go and see if I still have that on DVD, because I haven't seen that in forever. I think I'm almost due to watch Tron again. I don't know about Legacy. We'll see. But yeah. So that's it. That closes off another collection of mine. So the Diamond Select Toys Tron from 1982. Very happy with them. Again, Walgreens. So you guys down in the States, the Tron group I belong to on Facebook, lots of guys find them, are having my multiples. I mean, I think they're only $16. So considering, let's just do a quick height comparison here. Here, we'll put the Mandalorian. So he's gonna be at least a 7-inch figure compared to the 6. So yeah, at least anyway, maybe even 7.5. But nice size. And again, they look more statuesque than action figure-y a little bit, so the joints tend to blend quite a bit from a distance. So yeah, they are great. I can't wait to hear more news about a second wave, and I will definitely have to get them and add on to my Tron collection. So I don't know, out of the three, which one was your favorite? Flynn is still my personal character favorite, but I think Tron is fantastic. Sark I thought was really cool as well. The concept was just so original. In 1982, I would have been, I think, 9. Yeah, I was 9 when that came out, and again, my friends and myself used to play Tron out on the playground. I couldn't tell you how many times I took a frisbee to the side of the head and being de-resed because I got wiped out by Tron or somebody else. But yeah, so that's gonna do it. So again, happy Halloween to everybody. I hope you like my hoops and my lovely hair accessory here with the nice flower. So yeah, the things you do to make your daughter happy, and then you forget that you've actually kind of been wearing. So this is actually quite comfortable. I think if I had hair, this would do a nice job keeping it out of the way. So I don't know. Maybe if there's any ladies out there that likes it, hit me up. I could probably sell some. My daughter makes these quite often and does lots of craft shows. But anyways, that's gonna do it for me. We'll get on to something else. There's always something else to talk about. Hopefully do a live stream this weekend, give you guys plenty of notice on that, and that's gonna do it. So comment, share, like, subscribe, all that usual YouTube mumbo jumbo that everybody says at the end of all their videos, and we will see you guys very soon. Have yourselves a good one, eh?